There is a moment in every Indian's wealth journey that almost nobody talks about. It is not when you hit your first 1 crore. It is not when you pay off your home loan. It is not even when you max out your PPF and NPS. It is the moment your retirement becomes inevitable. The moment where even if you never invested another rupee in your life, time and compounding would do the rest. And if that sounds too good to be true, that is because most Indians never hear about this concept. But it is real, it is mathematical, and it is quietly used by every wealthy Indian family to build multi generational wealth. Nobody wants to grind forever. Nobody wants their entire retirement to depend on being financially perfect for the next 30 years. Here is what almost nobody tells you. There is an exact mathematical moment when your SIP contributions stop being the main thing moving the needle. When your portfolio itself starts growing faster than you can reasonably save. And no, it is not when you turn 60. That is the default script that keeps most Indians grinding forever. Today, I want to show you two moments. The crossover point, when your portfolio's growth beats your SIP contributions, and the coast fire moment, when you no longer need to contribute at all for retirement to work on schedule. Let me start with the first concept. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is that there are two engines powering your wealth, and most Indians only know about one of them. Engine number one is loud and painful. It is your monthly SIP contribution, the money you painfully save from your salary every month. That 5,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 rupees you transfer into mutual funds on the first of every month. Early on, this engine is basically everything. It feels like you are pushing a boulder uphill. Every SIP contribution feels like a sacrifice. Engine number two is quiet, almost invisible, especially in the beginning. The second engine is compound interest. In your first year of investing, this engine feels almost useless. You put in 60,000 rupees and get maybe 3,000 or 4,000 rupees in returns. Compared to your salary, this feels like nothing. But here is the beautiful secret. These two engines do not stay equal forever. One of them fades, the other one becomes unstoppable. And at some very specific point, the math genuinely flips. That flip is called the crossover point. Now, let me talk about the second concept. Okay, so the crossover point is actually very simple to understand. It is the exact moment when your portfolio generates more returns in a year than the total amount you are contributing in a year. That is it. That is the definition. Once you cross this point, you're no longer the main engine of your wealth. Your money starts pulling itself forward. Let me make this concrete. Say you're a young professional in Pune earning 60,000 rupees per month and you invest 20,000 rupees every month in a Nifty 50 index fund. That is 2,40,000 rupees per year. Nifty 50 has given about 12% annual returns over the last 30 years. So let us use that. When your total corpus is 5 lakhs, your annual returns are just 60,000 rupees. You're clearly still the engine. Your money is barely helping. When your corpus reaches 10 lakhs, annual returns are about 1 lakh 20,000. Still less than what you are contributing. But watch what happens at 20 lakhs. At 20 lakhs corpus, your 12% annual returns are exactly 2 lakh 40,000 rupees, which is the same as what you are contributing. Congratulations. This is your first crossover point. Your money is now working as hard as you are. Read that again. If you have 20 lakhs invested in a Nifty 50 index fund, that fund is earning as much money in a year as you are actively saving. You have officially become 50% passive. Now, let me talk about the third concept. Okay, so once your money starts working harder than you do, the pace of wealth building accelerates in ways that will genuinely shock you. At 50 lakhs corpus, your annual returns are 6 lakhs. That is 2.5 times what you are contributing. At 1 crore corpus, your annual returns are 12 lakhs per year. That is 5 times more than your contribution. At 2 crore corpus, your annual returns are 24 lakhs per year. That is 10 times your annual SIP. Your monthly contribution has become almost mathematically irrelevant. This is why every experienced Indian investor tells young people the same thing. The first 20 lakhs is the hardest because you are still doing all the heavy lifting. But somewhere between 20 lakhs and 1 crore, your money genuinely takes over. Now, let me talk about the fourth concept. And this is where the video gets really interesting because most Indians assume they need to contribute to their retirement fund every single month until they retire. That if they stop for even 6 months, their whole retirement plan is destroyed. But the math tells a very different story. Let us say your goal is to build 2 crore rupees over your working life. Same 20,000 rupees monthly SIP. Same 12% Nifty 50 returns. If you contribute the full way through, you reach 2 crores in about 20 years. That is our baseline. Now watch this. If you contribute till your corpus hits 50 lakhs, which takes about 10 and a half years, and then you completely stop investing. 0 rupees more into that account, just leave it there. How long to reach 2 crores from that point? Just 13 more years. Total time is about 23 years compared to baseline of 20 years. So stopping at 50 lakhs only delays your goal by 3 years, even though you completely stop putting money in. Now, something even crazier. What if you contribute till 1 crore, which takes about 15 years, and then completely stop? Just 7 more years to reach 2 crores. Total time is 22 years. Just 2 years delay compared to full contributions. Even though the second crore came entirely from compound interest. This is the point of the entire video. Halfway to your retirement goal is not halfway in time. Once your corpus reaches critical mass, compound interest carries you the rest of the way almost effortlessly. Now, let me share the fifth concept, the one that can give you the biggest peace of mind of your entire life. Okay, so this concept is called coast fire, and this is where things get really beautiful. Coast fire is different from the crossover point. The crossover point is a psychological shift. It is when contributions start feeling less important because your portfolio is doing more work than you are. But coast fire means you have literally enough money invested today so that even if you never add a single rupee more and you never touch this money, it will still grow into your retirement goal by the age you want to retire. That does not mean you stop working. It just means you no longer need to save for retirement. You can work at a job you love that pays less. You can start that business you have been dreaming of. You can take a career break. You can go travel because your retirement is already funded. Compound interest just needs time to finish the job. Now, let me walk you through the math simply. First, decide your monthly expenses in retirement. For a typical Indian urban middle class family, this might be 80,000 rupees per month. That is 9,60,000 per year. Next, calculate your retirement corpus using the 3.5% safe withdrawal rate that Indian advisors recommend because of our higher inflation. That is 9,60,000 divided by 0.035, which equals about 2 crore 74 lakhs. That is your retirement finish line. Now, here is your coast fire number by age. Assuming you want to retire at 60 with a conservative 5% real return after inflation. If you are 25 years old, you need just 50 lakhs invested today. Yes, just 50 lakhs. If you have 50 lakhs invested by 25 and never invest another rupee, you will still hit 2 crore 74 lakhs by 60. If you are 30 years old, you need 63 lakhs. If you are 35, you need 81 lakhs. If you are 40, you need about 1 crore. Look at these numbers again. They are much smaller than 2 crore 74 lakhs because compound interest does the rest of the work. Now, let me move to the sixth concept. Okay, this concept is the emotional impact of hitting coast fire because the moment you cross this number, everything about your life changes. Before coast fire, missing a single SIP contribution feels dangerous. Every rupee spent on enjoyment feels like it is stealing from your future retirement. After coast fire, your entire relationship with money transforms. Your only job becomes simple. Stay invested. Do not panic sell during a market crash. Do not raid the account when a shiny new car catches your eye. Do not let lifestyle inflation eat up the freedom you just built. This changes career decisions completely. Suddenly, that boring job you tolerate for the salary becomes optional. That toxic boss you keep quiet for becomes replaceable. That business idea you have been sitting on for years becomes achievable. That career break you desperately need becomes feasible because you know your retirement is already funded. Compound interest is running the marathon for you now. You just have to make sure you do not trip. Now, let me share the seventh concept, okay? This seventh concept is a warning, and most Indians completely miss this even after understanding coast fire. The warning is this: coast fire does not mean freedom to spend crazily, it means freedom from the pressure of investing. Because once Indians hit coast fire, most of them make two dangerous mistakes. First mistake, they start dipping into their corpus. They think, this is my money, why not use it? They pull out 5 lakhs for a big vacation or 10 lakhs for a car upgrade, and suddenly their coast fire math falls apart because those withdrawn amounts cannot compound anymore. Second mistake, lifestyle inflation destroys everything. They think, I do not need to invest anymore, so I can spend everything I earn. They upgrade their lifestyle to match their salary. Their monthly expenses shoot up from 80,000 to 1,50,000. Now their retirement corpus calculation changes completely. They no longer need 2 crore 74 lakhs. They now need almost 5 crores. And their coast fire number is not sufficient anymore. Please do not do this. Once you hit coast fire, your job is to protect what you built, not celebrate by destroying it. The best thing you can do is keep living your same lifestyle and let compound interest do its slow, beautiful magic. Look, wherever you are in this journey right now, whether you are just starting from zero or chasing your first 10 lakhs or halfway through the 20 lakh crossover or already past 50 lakhs, please remember this. You're not just saving money, you are literally building a machine. And once this machine reaches a certain size, it does not need you pushing it anymore. It just needs you to stay invested and let time do its thing. Calculate your coast fire number today, write it down, and then work toward it methodically. Because the moment you hit that number, you get something more valuable than money itself. You get peace of mind, you get options, you get the freedom to design the rest of your life on your own terms. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and watch my next video about 10 Japanese ways to build wealth. Because honestly, the Japanese have some genius money habits that no Indian finance channel talks about. The link is in the description. I will see you in the next one.